Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a highly requested video. This will be episode 2 to my adventures in dating. If you have not seen episode 1, it was Adventures in Tinder Dating featuring Snake. And you guys seem to really like that video. Apparently listening to me blabber on about my dating woes for 18 minutes was fun or entertaining for some of you. So if you checked in to watch that video, thank you so much. I read every single comment on that string, and you guys gave me some really great dating advice, and everyone was like, where is episode 2? And truth be told, I did not want there to be an episode 2. Like, I don't have enjoyment sitting here and telling you that, like, there's another failed relationship or start of a relationship. So I did not want to make this video, and I know a lot of you were like, what's the follow-up story on Snake? I never did hear from Snake again, so unfortunately I didn't have anything to update you guys. But I am back with an episode 2. And before I get started with the story, I just want to put a disclaimer out there, because there are several guys that I've seen, like, in between Snake and who I'm about to tell you about. And, you know, sometimes just online dating doesn't work. I mean, you meet them and you're not interested, or they're not interested, or you're at different places in your life, or you're attracted to them and they're a really nice person, but, you know, you're on different pages as far as things that you want, and that's okay. Like, that is part of dating. Well, if you're watching this and in the future and I'm seeing you or something, I don't throw up every single person, and I don't want people to think I'll get into this habit of throwing up every single person that I talk to or date on my channel, because that's not how it goes. There have been a couple of guys that I've seen in between Snake and this person who have taken me out on a couple dates or a date, and they were completely normal, really nice guys. So thank you on behalf of women everywhere. If you're one of those guys and you're watching this, just thank you, like, because you were completely normal, you did everything right, you know, and they took me out, treated me like a lady, were complete gentlemen, and so thank you. If you're one of those guys and it just didn't work out for one reason or the other, but you treated me right and, you know, whatever, it just didn't work out, thank you. So I didn't want anyone to just think that every single person that I'm gonna see, I'm gonna throw up on this channel. That is not how it's gonna go, and I will never put anyone's name out there. That's not my style. So let's get started with episode 2. Episode 2 will be entitled The Great Houdini, for this person's very magical and elusive disappearing act.
And with all your magic, I disappear from view.
So it took me a minute or two to actually A, decide that I wanted to do this video, and then B, have the courage to put it up, because as much as people just think like I'm an open book, I'm a real person with feelings too. It puts you in a very vulnerable situation to put yourself out there and tell people, especially this is a public channel, tell people about, like, your dating life. And I mean, sometimes you guys know if you're hurt in a relationship or something, just even telling it to a close friend or confidant or, you know, family member or whatever, like, it's not comfortable. You relive it every time you tell it, you relive it. So it took me a hot minute to even have the confidence to, like, sit down and film this, because I was pretty burned. Like, I was pretty upset about this, and I'll tell you the story in a second, but, you know, it took some time to put this up. I want to say about 2 weeks. A, because, like I said, I was already feeling, like, super vulnerable after the incident, and then B, I mean, you know, every time you tell the story, like I said, you relive a little bit of it, and I wanted to be able to tell the story without getting emotional about it. And I know that seems silly because it's only 2 dates and probably over the course of only 3 weeks, and they're like, that's so silly, it's so early in the relationship. But until you start to really like someone and you go down the road where you start already talking and, you know, making plans, even early plans in the relationship, and then it falls through, it's upsetting and disappointing. So it took me a minute because I wanted to be able to tell the story without getting all choked up and emotional, and I don't want it to get too heavy because this is a fun channel and I wasn't trying to get too deep on anybody. So anyway, basically what happened is I was in the city with my girlfriend celebrating our birthdays at Beauty in Essex, and we meet these 3 guys. They're really good-looking guys, and the reason why I thought this start of a relationship was so promising, it was the first person that I've met since I've been back on the dating scene that I did not meet online. I met them in person. So like I said, I was out celebrating my birthday. I spot these 3 guys. The one guy winds up coming over and talking to my friend Genevieve, and I was like, oh, I'm celebrating my birthday too. What are you guys up to tonight? So we're chatting, and I see his 2 friends like looking over like, should we come over? And I was like, you know what, we're actually closing out of our check right now. Would you like us to come over to your table? So Genevieve, I asked her, like, do you want to stay for a round of drinks? She's like, yep, I'm in. I'm your wing woman. Let's do this. So we go over, we stay for another glass of Prosecco. We're talking to the guys, and I hit things off with one, like, immediately. Like, I just felt so comfortable and at home talking to this person initially that I was like, wow, there's, like, a lot of chemistry right off the bat. So we're talking with each other, you know, very basic. Where do you work? You know, where do you live? What do you like to do in the city? So I knew when we were done, Genevieve wanted to head out. I wanted to give him my number. So we exchanged digits, and that was a Saturday night. And I remember getting up on Sunday morning and being like, oh, he was so cute. He was so nice. He had a great smile. Like, that was probably the #1 thing I noticed about him. It was a little short, but I'm short, so I wasn't going to be picky. But he had, like, the most awesome smile. Like, his face just lit up when he smiled. And I'm a sucker for nice teeth. He had really nice, white, perfect teeth, great smile, really funny, charismatic, like, just such a sweet guy. I didn't have his phone number, he only had mine. So I'm waiting for him to hit me up, and eventually he does. He hits me up Sunday night, and we start talking, and within like a couple of days, we're like, let's meet up for a date. Like, we're all excited to see each other again. He asked me if I can get together like Monday or Tuesday of that week. Like, we met Saturday and he wanted to get together. I wound up having like a lot of stuff to do because I was leaving on vacation on Wednesday. So we just weren't able to meet up before I left for vacation. But throughout vacation, we're talking with each other the entire time. You know, I try not to message guys. I just am a little more reserved because I've been burned before with like being the one who always initiates. So I kind of hold back, and he hits me up. Like, if he hits me up, I'll message him back. But for the most part, like, I would wait for him to text message me. So he'd message me, and then he'd started saying good morning and good night. Like, every single day I heard from him in the morning and at night, and we're chatting throughout the day, and he's asking me to send him pictures of me on vacation. So I'm sending him photos of like me and my nephews together. So we're hitting it off, and we cannot wait to see each other. Like, a week went by, and he was like, I can't wait to see you, can't wait to see you. So he offered to come to Long Island, which I thought that was so nice, because most guys that I meet in the city are like, when are you coming into the city? He decides that he's gonna come out to see me on Long Island, and we make plans. We go to a wine bar, went to another bar afterwards just for like a glass of wine, and you know, he surprised me. My birthday had just passed. He surprised me with a Yankees coffee mug, which it was such a small birthday gift, but like, I really felt like he put thought into that, because if you know me, I love the Yankees and I also love coffee. So he just like combined 2 of my favorite things, and like got in my car and was like, oh, I got you a little something for your birthday. Thought it combined 2 things that you really love. So it was so sweet. So we have a really nice time on the date. Get back into my car and drop him off at the train station, and we're like so excited to see each other again. He wound up going away. Labor Day was the next weekend, and he was away. And again, we're talking throughout his trip. He's telling me he can't wait for me to come on the trip the next year with him and meet all his friends. And, you know, he was there. Most of his friends are married at this point. I think he's 33. And most of his friends are married, and he's like, oh, I can't wait for you to come meet my friends. Like, you're going to fit in perfectly. Blah, 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 and he's sending me photos of everybody. He gets back from vacation, and he's like, I want to see you again. So he asked me out on a second date, and I was gonna go into the city to like a really nice restaurant with him, and it wound up downpouring that day. And he's like, do you want to cancel? I feel bad. I don't want you getting all like dolled up in your makeup and your hair and high heels to like come in the pouring rain. I'm like, no, I still really want to see you, like, let's do it. I was like, we'll go to a bar or something. We'll grab some beers, grab some wings, like, keep it low-key. NFL kickoff was that night, you know, and so we're like, let's watch the football game. So again, another really fun night. We go to the bar, we have a great time, good conversation. Nothing came up that was, like, super awkward, at least to me, or anything like that. I was like, I have to catch a train back to Long Island, like, Gotta get, you know, back to Penn Station. So I thought he was just gonna walk me to the door and say goodbye. Such a gentleman, like walks me outside in the pouring rain, walks me down the block, hails me a cab, kisses me before I get into the cab. And we had been talking about like the next weekend he was going, or the next day he was going away to Florida to visit his mom. And he's like, I feel so bad, like you've been away, or I've been away every single weekend. Like the next weekend I'm home, we're gonna do something really fun. So we're talking about like all these different things we want to do together. He already made us like a bucket list of stuff that he wanted to do like on Long Island. He wanted me to take him out to the wineries out east. He asked me if I'd go see a play in the city. We started discussing like going to a Broadway play together. We were talking about going camping together like in late October. So the date goes by. This is Thursday night. I get back to Penn Station. I get home to Long Island. I say goodnight, which is our routine. Say goodnight. He says goodnight to me. Friday, we're chit-chatting throughout the day. He asked me to send him information about camping, and he's like, book it. And I'm like, are you sure you could do that date? Because it's a non-refundable deposit. He's like, well, let me just check with my mom. He's like, that she's not coming in October. I'm 99% sure though, so book it. And I'm like, why don't you just double check? Let me know about, you know, the camping trip. It's not a big deal. I can book it like when you get back from vacation. So Friday night, he leaves for Florida to go see his mom. And I said, you know, have a safe flight. Message me when you touch down. He's like, you know I will. Of course I will. So he messages me when he gets in, like he promised. And I'm having a girls' night. And me and my girlfriend are like watching a chick flick, and I was like, I haven't heard from the great Houdini. He didn't say goodnight. So I thought it was a little weird he didn't text me goodnight, but I figured between like working and travel, he was probably wiped and, you know, probably just fell asleep. Not a big deal. Saturday morning, he had told me he was getting up early to fish in Florida with his mom on like a fishing tour or some fishing boat. So I don't hear from him, and he said he was getting up at 5 in the morning. So now, no good night and no good morning. And you guys, I'm not like a freak, like, normally I wouldn't think anything of that, but like, we had been texting good morning and good night for the past 3 weeks, so it was just out of our routine. Like, if a guy and I, like, early in the relationship didn't text every day, or didn't text always good morning and good night, I would be like, okay, big deal. But because this person and I said good night and good morning for, like, every single day for, you know, the 20 days prior, it was weird that I didn't hear from him. Not a big deal. I figure he's busy with his mom. I give him, you know, time. And we're friends on Instagram. I see him post a picture of fishing. So I'm like, okay, so you're not too busy to post a picture of fishing, but you can't text me back from saying goodnight the night before. Again, I don't think anything of it. I'm like, he's on vacation, whatever. And the day goes by. Now I'm starting to get upset because I was like, almost worried. You know, it was very unlike him that I didn't hear from him from the day. But once I saw him post the picture of the fishing trip, I knew he was alive. So I'm like, okay, so now he's just blatantly not responding to me. Thought it was a little weird, but again, like just kind of giving him time with his mom. He was away, you know, visiting his mom. I figured he was just caught up and spending quality time with her. And Saturday goes by. By Saturday night, I'm upset. I went from like being nervous that something happened to him to now being upset. Like, why is this person not responding back to me? Like, so bizarre and out of character. Sunday comes and my curiosity gets the best of me, and I think I texted him something like really funny and like lighthearted, like, oh, guess you're having fun. Or, you know, I was like, haven't heard from you. Hopefully you weren't eaten by a Florida alligator. Something like that. No response back all Sunday. So now it's 48 hours and I'm like, what the hell? Like, this person just did a 180 on me. Like, and here's the thing. Like, I'm such an understanding person. All you have to do is be like, something happened, or I'm freaking out, or we're moving too fast. Like I told you, he was kind of setting the pace, so I don't think it was a pacing issue, especially since he was the one who always, like, he friended me on Facebook, he friended me on Instagram, like, he would message me all the time, he asked me out on the dates, like, everything was initiated by him. So I'm thinking, like, what is going on with this person? And to this day, this is the end of the story. I've never heard back from him. Like, I have no idea what happened to him. He didn't have the courtesy to tell me, like, hey, I'm not interested any longer, or hey, like, I was juggling a couple different girls and it worked out with someone else. didn't have the courtesy to be like, hey, I'm going through something, or something came up and I just, I can't dedicate any time to dating right now, just never message me again. Is that normal? Like, if that's normal, I don't know anything. And a lot of my friends are like, Rachel, some guys are just too coward to come forward and break things off. But how do you go from telling me to book a camping trip with you on Friday to disappearing off the face of the earth, right, Godiva? Is that not weird? Tell everybody that that is not the proper way to do things. Oh, I love you too. See, this is my ride or die right here. We never have to worry about this one disappointing me. Just always consistently loving. So I don't know, if you guys have any comments about either spotting this person to verify that they exist, or any advice on like what possibly happened, I don't know. I can come up with a zillion different reasons about what may have happened and drive myself crazy. But the fact of the matter is, everything was fine and normal. He messaged me that he touched down, and that was the last thing that I ever heard from him. Pretty upset about it because I had high hopes for this person. It was, like I said, one of the first times since I've been dating again that I've met someone in person. I kind of knew what I was getting. We hit things off. They're messaging me, courting me, making the dates, making the plans, and then just poof. Gone. Anyway, that is it for episode 2 of The Great Houdini. I'm going to retitle this series Adventures in Dating because Tinder's out. I cannot deal with Tinder any longer. Like, I put my foot down and I'm not doing Tinder anymore. So I'm on Bumble. If you're out there and single and ready to mingle, find me. Great Houdini, if you're watching this, because I feel like there's a possibility he still follows me on social media. Not cool, my friends. Not cool. Cowardly. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you all in my next video. Why do I keep doing this? It's weird. See you all in my next video. Bye.
Call it magic. Cut me into two. And with all your magic, I disappear from view. And I can't get